Media Mike Radio, the voice of the everyday citizen.
Let's rock on the mic. What's up, everybody? And you are listening to the best of the Media Mike Radio Show. I am your host, the Media Mike Speaks, sponsored by New Justice Media, where we are the voice of the everyday citizen. The time is now 41 minutes past the hour here in the Lone Star State. So let's get to it before it's too late. Yes, people, United States Representative Jasmine Crockett is at it again. She has landed herself in hot water again for her words. The congresswoman was called out for cotton picking. I don't understand what's wrong with her. Now, she made this comment while defending immigration. I just don't get it. I told you before, somebody is paying, or someone is paying her a lot of money. So I want to talk about this. Let me know what you think about this. Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett suggested the United States needs immigrants for farm jobs because black people are done cotton picking, are done picking cotton, either one. While speaking at a historically black church over the weekend, the far-left congresswoman's eyebrow-raising remark on Sunday came as she was making the case for the country's migrant population she believes was unfairly attacked during President Trump's White House run, in which he vowed to crack down on illegal immigration. Now, she goes on to say, this is what she says. So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country. Ms. Crockett, people don't need you to do that. They know what immigrants do for this country, or the impact immigrants have on this country. And she goes on to say, in fact, we are a country of immigrants. Okay, you do have a point. Now, she said this in the video on city community television. She goes on to say, the fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Now that was the wrong thing to say, unquote. There are a lot of people farming. There are a lot of African Americans farming, ma'am. A lot of African American farmers who are still trying to get loans and grants and things that they were locked out of. Now she goes on to say, quote, okay, I'm lying. Crockett 44 said, You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find the plantation, unquote. Now, before Crockett's uncomfortable comment, she argued immigrants were being wrongly vilified for bringing crime to communities and stealing black jobs, unquote. She goes on to say, again, they were able to divide us because any black person that knows their history should know at some point in time in history they looked at us and they acted as if we were less than. They acted as if we were some kind of aliens. They acted as if we had a higher proclivity to commit crimes. They acted as if we were incapable of learning, she said. Now, this is utterly ridiculous. She goes on to say, that's what they did to us. So who are we to sit and say that we're going to do that to somebody else, unquote? But you are actually saying that, ma'am, about other people picking cotton. You are saying that, I guess the powers that be, or Caucasian people, are looking at immigrants the same way, looking down on them and doing this and doing that. Now, upon the footage going viral, some social media users felt differently about Crockett's assumption, especially given the history of black farmers in the U.S., as I talked about earlier. Now, one commenter stated, goes on to quote it, that says, she is pure ignorance and a slap in the face of the black farmers of the South that continue to fight the good fight in the agricultural industry. I hate to sound like an Uncle Tom, but I'm kind of tired of her already. She's truly educated and ghetto. You can be both. Shaking my effing head, wrote one commenter. Well, it's not your Uncle Tom says. It's called the Sambo. So got to read up on that. Another commenter noted her apparent comparison of immigrant jobs to labor performed by slaves. Another commenter said, well, to relegate immigrant jobs to slave labor as if that's something we should condone or as if that's the only jobs immigrants work is quite disgusting, emphasized the social media user. Which is true. Another commenter said, a dangerous rhetoric that ignores the exploitation of illegal immigrants. And the last one wrote, this is dangerous rhetoric and false information. Nobody's saying they won't go out there to farm. It's just the fact that you would have to pay an American citizen more than you would have to pay an illegal immigrant. And it's a shame that this is coming from a black woman, type the user, quote. It is. It is. Because, look, Crockett has gained attention for a series of controversial statements in recent months. She's gone on to say she suggested that the U.S. might not have elections in 2028 and has called Trump a dictator and enemy of the U.S. She also made fun of wheelchair-bound Texas Governor Greg Abbott, calling him Governor Hot Wheels, though she claims her criticism had nothing to do with his disability and was tied to him shipping migrants at the border to other parts of the country via planes, trains, and buses. Ms. Crockett has been accused of not knowing that crossing the border illegally is a federal crime, which is true. And she also has been accused of racism for remarks on Byron Donald's interracial marriage. She has been charged with assault by attacking a reporter, by grabbing his cell phone. She has openly stated she is not about passing any legislation. And now this. This woman, people will not stay out of the limelight. And I had to throw that in, one more, that she's also dealing with some misappropriation of campaign funds, something like that. What's going on with her? But I'm going to leave you with this. Now, I don't know about you, but I believe slavery probably will not be forgotten. But under no circumstances do I believe you should refer to any race as slaves needed to be picking cotton. Until next time, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.
Media Mike Radio, the voice of the everyday citizen.
I'll understand you soon, it won't be long. Keep on, keep running.